Right, let's have a look at this question here then. So, an aircraft travels north along the same meridian from latitude 30 degrees 15 minutes south to 14 degrees south. What is the distance flown in kilometres? So, at first glance, I think this looks quite tricky, but with a little bit of theory and knowing which buttons to use on your calculator makes it much easier and then becomes a reasonably straightforward question along with other questions similar to this. So, let's have a look at how we work this out together then. So what's it's asking us? So it's saying that we're starting down here somewhere. So we're round about 30 degrees south, 30 degrees 15, and we're going up to 14 degrees, which is around here. Okay. So somebody living in the northern hemisphere, there's potentially a bit of a gotcha there. So just remember that as the number decreases, we're getting closer to the equator. So in the northern hemisphere, that means we're heading south, but in the southern hemisphere, that means that we're heading north. So just really bear that in mind. It tells us which direction we're in, but if the question didn't mention that and it mentioned we're going from this latitude to that latitude, which direction you're heading, then that just something to have a think about. And the key bit of knowledge that we need to answer this question is this here. So 1 minute of latitude equals 1 nautical mile, or 1 degree of latitude equals 60 nautical miles. And I tend to be honest, remember this bottom one just because of how I use my calculator to calculate this. So I remember 1 degree equals 60 nautical miles, and that's if we're traveling along the same meridian. Okay, so we're going from here, potentially following this line up here. So that would be the same meridian. So this only works when we're on the same meridian. If we do anything less than that, it does get a little bit more complicated. And so the key button that we need for this is the DMS button, or degrees, minutes and seconds button, which on this Casio calculator is here. If we don't have that button, we then need to convert all of the numbers into decimals, which just makes life a little bit more tricky. So you're allowed a scientific calculator in the exam, so take one in with you, and it'll make life so much easier. So this is my online digital calculator. So let's have a look, see what we need to type in. So we're going to start with the big number minus the small number. It doesn't, whichever way round it's written in the question, do it that way round, and that just keeps things nice and simple. So all I'm going to do is 30, and then I'm going to hit degrees, 15 minutes, and then I'm going to minus 14 degrees. And that gives me 16 degrees 15 minutes. So that's the difference between those two positions on that meridian. We've said that 1 degree equals 60 nautical miles. So if I hit equals, and then I'm going to time my answer by 60, and that gives me an answer of 975 nautical miles. So if the question was asking what's the difference in nautical miles, then that would be my answer. But it's asking it for in kilometres. So again, there's a few ways we can do this. We're allowed scientific digital flight computers into the exams these days. So I would do that as well. So if I like the CX3, if you go on the CX3, there's a unit conversion. However, there's a really easy way to remember to convert nautical miles to kilometres. And the way we do that is to just work our way down that middle column of the calculator. So 1 nautical mile equals 1.852 kilometres. So all we do is we've got our answer there, 975 nautical miles. I'm going to times it by 1.852. And then that gives me an answer of 180.5.7, or 1,806 kilometres. So that's my answer. So if I was travelling along the same meridian from 30 degrees 15 minutes south to 14 degrees south, it would be 1,806 kilometres. So I hope that's been useful. If you've got any queries about this question or similar questions around latitudes and longitudes, by all means pop them in the box below and I'll get back to you and see if I can help out. So I hope that's been useful, and good luck with your exams.